I'm Jeannie Ralston, and I'm the founder of Next Tribe. And I'm so happy to see all of you here to talk about a true gem in the South, the city of Savannah. And I love the city almost, I mean, about the same as I love Charleston. I didn't, they're similar, but they each have their unique personality. So we've done Charleston trips for many years, and our Elliser Holder, who's here tonight, she's led those trips.
Hi.
She's a born and raised Southerner, so she's going to be leading the trip to Savannah. She's a bunch of fun. Say hi, Elliser.
Hey, everybody. I'm really looking forward to leading this trip. So I hope you get the information you need and definitely ask questions at the end. Yep, excited.
And then we also have Beverly Willett, who's kind of the reason that we've started thinking about this trip because Beverly, I know Beverly from New York. She was a writer living in New York, and she moved, it was in for good 2014, right?
I came down at the end of 2013,
13.
and then I packed up my bags and had the moving truck bring everything else because I was like, I'm staying.
Well, yeah, we and we'll see why when we go there. But so I'm gonna let Beverly just what she has done. She helped us design this trip. You will meet Beverly on the trip because she's invited us to her home, and I love being able to go to people's homes on these trips. It's really a treat to see how other people live, and especially you're right down in the historic district, right,
Yeah.
Beverly? So and she knows everyone because as soon as she got there, she started joining boards and volunteering. So she's very well connected, and we are benefiting from that on this trip. So I'm going to switch over to my little show my screen so you can see what we're talking about. But hold on, I'm so bad at this. You would think it'd be I would know better now. Oh my gosh, now it's like want me to sign in. Oh, help. I just had it up. Wait a second. Hold on. I just had it all ready to go and it's not there. So let me have a minute.
Hey, it's technology. We all get it. It's
Okay, very good.
and it changes every day. So
I had it all queued up and then it didn't go. So here we go again.
we should
Okay.
come up with a theme song for next trial.
While I'm sitting here doing all this, you have a
Yeah.
theme song. Okay, now you can see it. Somebody is just asking to get in. Hold on a second. Where are they? Why did I not see them? Gosh, okay, this is bad. I can't, usually I can see them. Okay, so here we are in Savannah, Georgia, and it's still considered the low country, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And we're going in March because Beverly and Ellis and I talked about when is a good time to go. You don't want to go too much later because it starts getting hot and there's all these other festivals and things, right, Beverly? You were telling us about. So this was the weekend we decided was best time.
Yep. I think it's a great time. I mean, it's not going to be super hot or anything, but you could have could be in the 70s. You never really know, but it's not going to be super cold either. And it's a beautiful time because everything is really blossoming. I mean, up north, things aren't starting to blossom yet, but at the beginning of March, it's going to be gorgeous.
Yay. And I love that it's called the hostess city. That right there, that's a reason to go. You're going to feel welcome. And it's on the Savannah River, right? That leads it right near the mouth of so there's a lot of river things, and of course you're so close to the coast. You're on the coast as well. And so Elliser's going to be your guide, and as you can tell in this picture, she's a goofball. This is from Charleston, which has the same kind of beaches and stuff that we'll be going to here in this. And Beverly, who has a book that is wonderful. Remember we did that whole writers thing with you, Beverly? Assembly
Yes,
required.
during COVID.
It was during COVID. We talked about your she did a whole after a divorce, she kind of remade her life, which is very admirable and had oh, here's two people. Now I'm going to let them in. Um so she remade her life and she talked about it in her memoir, Dissembly Required. And we can talk about it a little more when we talk about the author's lunch because we will have some authors talking at one of our events. And when we get to that, we'll talk about some of the literary history too in Savannah. But the first thing is we're staying at the Planters Inn, which is an old school kind of hotel, kind of what you might expect from a deep South city. Very much, kind of on the outer edge of the downtown area, but very walkable still. Here we got somebody else coming in. Oh, okay. And I just wanted to put this here because I just think it's so, I mean, I wanted you to be able to see the layout. I think Savannah is known for its beautiful grid system with, lovely streets, then a park, and then a street, and then another square. And when I was looking for this photo, just to give you an idea of how the overview of this very walkable area, I didn't realize it was laid out in 1773. So I guess we'll hear all about that, right, Beverly?
Yeah, I mean, it was meticulously designed. And as I learn little, I'm not a historian, but I learn little bits of history, every year a little bit more. And they're all called like wards. All of these big squares are wards, and they had different kind of housing around them and parks. And apparently what happened is that a lot of the housing was down near the river, which you can imagine because it's a port city and it was a port city originally. And then as more people came, what happened is they had laid out the city, but then they opened what's called a new ward. So they opened a new square and all the houses and everything around it. And then people moved into that new ward. And so it was like the immigration, was all thoughtfully planned and laid out just in terms of how the city developed and people came into it. So it's just fascinating. It really is fascinating.
Yeah, and then to see it on the ground and see these parks and the trees, beautiful uh, structures that will be surrounded us as we walk. So we're going to start off with a walking tour, and it's going to be devoted to, we'll get some of the general history, but we also want women's history because there's some great women who were based in Savannah and deserve recognition. And I mean, I have Flannery O'Connor here, the writer, part of the literary history in Savannah. Mother Martha Beasley, who did a lot for African Americans in her time. Other people is Juliet Howe. Wait, what's her full name? The founder of the Girl Scouts.
Juliet Gordon Low, yeah. Founder of the Girl
Okay,
Scouts.
Gordon Lowe. So there'll be a lot to talk about women in this in Savannah, but a lot to see on our walking tour. So that's how we'll start off to get a good feeling for that layout and this and I just thought like the architecture. I mean, if you look at these homes, they're just gorgeous, and just to have so much green space. And I always think of Savannah as very shady because of they have just trees everywhere with these parks. I just think it's just a very feels very livable because it's obviously it's south, so it's warmer than other parts of the country, but with those big live oaks and the Spanish moss, it feels so nice. It feels very shady and comfortable. So the
And I
other
should just note that in terms of the architecture, again, not an architecture person, but there are so many different styles of architecture. So it's not like a city that just has one style of architecture. You go around the city and you'll see like 10, 11, 12. I mean, you'll also see a couple of places that we weren't able to get the planning commission to nix. So So there's a few oddballs here and there. And it's really sort of the people who live here really want to keep it historic, but it's growing, and and it's so much older than when it was founded. So you've got businesses and people who want to build, but the history. And so we really try and work together to keep it that way, even though there are things that come along that are unsightly for occasionally.
But you've done it, so you're on one of those, you were on one of those boards, right? Like the zoning or
Oh, I wasn't on that. I just from time to time get involved in it, but I wasn't on one of those boards. That's way too contentious.
Okay. So one of the things we have, well, we have this a dinner planned at the Gray, which is an old Greyhound bus station, and it's gotten all kinds of rave reviews from like the New York Times, as I hear what they say about it. But we like too that it's a woman-owned restaurant, and whenever we travel, we try to seek out women-owned businesses, women-owned tour companies, women guides, that kind of thing. We want to support local businesses run by women. So we're really happy that such a great restaurant is run by a woman. And she has a couple of restaurants, right, Beverly?
Yeah, she actually has a new one I just read about in Paris. So she's over there in Paris now. But what is so interesting, I think, too, about this restaurant and this old, I mean, it's a great space, is that this woman is an African American, and so she's won all these awards. She won the James Beard Award, and so when the Greyhound bus station, when it was originally built and operating, of course, it was segregated. And it's just a beautiful story now that this woman, who is like the most famous chef in Savannah and so celebrated, this Black woman, is now in this space. So I think it's like, I don't know, it just feels like a reclaimed space for something beautiful and
Yes.
amazing food.
That is I didn't know, I didn't think of it that way, but that's true. Yeah. So it's come justice. Um, and and then another thing we're going to do is there's something called the Beach Institute, which is one of the major African American institutions, museums in the city, and they have a indigo dyeing workshop. And we thought this was really important because indigo, obviously we know about rice and cotton in the deep south, but indigo is also very important crop. It's was one of the crops that enslaved people worked at for generations. And I mean, there's a book, I can't remember. I read the book about the Indigo Girl. If maybe somebody read that about the role of indigo in the Southern economy before the war. But I like that the Beach Institute has taken this and made something where they can discuss the crop and how people spent their lives working in the indigo fields, but that we can also appreciate its beauty, what it can do, the dyeing, the fabric. So we'll be making something, and it's a good hands-on way to think about indigo and the history of it. So and you recommended that, Beverly. I appreciate that. And then because
on my chest.
here, let me just mute somebody. Um, because we're right on the coast, we of course are going to take advantage of that, and we're going to go out with a local wildlife tour company and spend time in a park, I don't know if it's a national park, but a state park, where it'll be deserted beaches like this one you see on the lower left. And we do something like this when we do the Charleston trip. That's why the picture on the right with Elliser, that's some people from our Charleston trip they call these kind of places boneyards, where the trees are that they're, I don't know if they're driftwood, but they end up, Elliser, are they driftwood? I don't know if that's driftwood or they're trees that they die from the salt water and they just end up falling. But anyway, it's an amazing way. Well, so
Yeah, it's not driftwood. It's just what happens to the local trees that are part of the beach and the beachscape.
and yeah.
Yep.
But we'll get to spend some time. I think it's really important that you get to spend time out in the beautiful, it's the low country. I mean, it's just gorgeous views, gorgeous scenery. So we don't want to forget that. And then we will, if you've read The Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, you will have, you'll know the Bonaventure Cemetery, which is misspelled. Ooh, sorry about that. Anyway, but so we're going to go out with the person you recommended, Beverly, to do the storytelling in the Bonaventure Cemetery. Have you done that with him?
Yeah, and I actually, the very first time I came to Savannah, actually, he hadn't started the tours in Bonaventure. He was doing ghost tours downtown. And my girls and I, my daughter wound up going to college in Atlanta. We came here for just a week, a long weekend. And so he was doing the ghost tours. And so I have known this guy for ever, more than 15, 16 years. And he is one of the best storytellers in Savannah. I mean, he is fantastic. So he
Yeah.
has many tours going on many places, but he focuses a lot of his attention now on Bonaventure.
Yes, so I look forward to that because there's just so much there. I mean, to look at obviously these big mausoleums and so forth, but to hear some of the stories, and you can imagine with this Spanish moss hanging over you and woo, getting chills already. Um, and then we will be going to Beverly's house for the literary lunch, the author's lunch. This picture, we do this also in Charleston. This picture is from one of the author's lunches we do in Charleston. And so this is Beverly's book. But I thought I would ask you, Beverly, first of all, can you talk a little bit about the literary history of Savannah? I mean, it is quite impressive, isn't it? I mean, so many
Yeah,
writers.
well, I mean, you mentioned Flannery O'Connor, and she is we have several famous authors, but she's our most famous author. She won the National Book Award posthumously. She just celebrated actually her 100th birthday posthumously, and the town just went crazy. I mean, celebration after celebration. We just had another celebration, and the first celebration was in March. And so she has her childhood home here. Which was turned into a museum. So some local professors about more than 30 years ago, it had fallen into, private hands, and they just wanted to reclaim the house. So they literally got together, raised the money, bought the house, and it is now a house museum. And there are things in the museum from her childhood. I mean, it is not everything in there is original, but there is a lot of original stuff. There are tours there. It now is also sort of a center for authors in this community. They host readings. They have, as I said, they have tours. So it's really like a literary home for people. And that's really sort of how I came into Savannah. I started meeting a lot of people, but I wanted to find a literary home too. And they were having once a month, just sort of drop-in sections, meet other writers, read our works. And I found my way there, and this whole literary community. So it's really grown. We have a Savannah Book Festival that's about 20 years old. It's considered one of the major book festivals in the country. And I was lucky enough to actually be one of the authors selected for the festival in 2020 when my book came out. But I mean, we have, John Grisham, I mean, everybody, the top best-selling authors in the country come here, and they want to come. I mean, and we don't have that many spots in February. It's a long weekend festival in February. So there's a
And-
huge literary history here and
And-
community.
And you mentioned some of at least one writer that we might be gathering with. So it'll be you and possibly a couple of other writers.
Yeah, there'll be at least two more, and tentatively, there's a woman, Helen Bradley, who is she wasn't an author. She is in my writing group now, but she came out with her first book last year, and she actually won the Next Tribe. You had some kind of an essay contest.
Oh, that's right.
That's Helen. That's Helen. She won. She was hadn't come out with her book yet, and
I didn't realize that she was okay. It's all connected.
and I
now.
encouraged her. I was like, you didn't know who she was, and she won the Next Tribe essay contest.
Yes,
Came out with her book last year, which
wow,
has
that
been
is so great.
so. And then Rosemary Daniel, who's like an internationally known author, poet, memoirist, author, has won Faulkner Awards. She founded something called Zona Rosa Retreats, and these are writing groups that basically go on weekly. And she's been doing this for 20, 30 years. When I first came here, it was very funny. I was reading a lot of Joyce Maynard books, and I love Joyce Maynard. And so before I left New York, she was having a book signing. And I was like, oh, I've got to go meet Joyce Maynard. And so I had started to write, and she was very complimentary. She had read some of my articles, and I said, I'm moving to Savannah. And she said, you must look up my good friend Rosemary Daniel, who lives there. And so when I did, I looked her up, and we became friends. So I've known her now for over a decade, and she's amazing. She's absolutely.
I love that. It sounds like a great community. So we'll be able to tap into that, get a sense of that, which I always love. I always love that kind of getting people beyond what they can see as a tourist and get more into what life is like in the community. So thank you for that, Beverly. I'm really excited about this part of the trip. And then we'll have a cooking class and with it, now his name is escaping me, but he's the one that you love so much, Beverly.
Darren Steinert.
Yes.
Chef Darren.
So we are going to have it's one of the best, it's highest rated cooking class in town. So we'll have that. Well, that'll be our dinner that night. So we'll get, a lot of really good feelings. So, get to really get our hands into it, right? The food there, which is fabulous. And then more food. We will have a farewell brunch. We love to end with a big farewell brunch before you go off to get your flights. So just a few pictures. This is the main park, the most beautiful park. This is just a view. At first I thought this was Charleston, but then I realized it's not. You have a bridge like that too, right? And then the architecture, Spanish moss, beautiful, beautiful. So it's a 3-night, 4-day trip. So you get in on a Thursday afternoon, leave on a Sunday after brunch, and we put as much as we can into that time. I see there's Sandy has been on. Hi there. She came to Asheville. We did a long weekend trip in Asheville, and we really try to get as much as we can into that because that's why you're there, right? To see as much as you can. So we really try to give you a really great feeling for Savannah on this trip. So I wanted to open it up for questions. What kind of questions do you have about the trip? Anybody?
Yes, hi, this says on iPhone, but I'm Kathy Boris.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi. I haven't had any time because I've been traveling quite a bit. Haven't had any time to even look into air flights. What airport is it?
It's the Savannah Hilton Head International. Where are you coming from?
DC.
Oh, it's a dream. There are tons of direct flights.
Okay.
And I mean, no, you have American, because I'm actually going to DC in a
Oh.
few weeks, and there are direct flights from American to DC, and I know Delta does. Now, JetBlue, I don't know. They fly
No,
direct.
well, I would either do Delta or United. I have a lot of miles on United
Okay.
and some on Delta.
Well, United is here, JetBlue, American, Delta. I mean, everything. There's just,
And
yeah.
it's called Savannah. What's
It's
the airport
Savannah
called?
Hilton Head International. There is a Hilton Head too, but don't
Okay.
make the mistake of that. It's the Savannah Hilton Head International.
International.
While we're talking, I'm gonna look up the call number. It's probably SAV, I would imagine, but
It is SAV. Yes, it's
okay.
SAV.
Thank you.
look up SAV. And anything else?
Yeah, I was just wondering, you showed the hotel, or the house where you're staying. Is there a possibility of staying, I mean, you'd have to contact the hotel if I wanted to come in a day earlier and
Yes,
stay a day
yes.
later?
Yes, yes, contact the hotel. We'll, they have our booking. And so you can tell them you're booking with us and you want to add on. That's the best way. Yes, it's a
Okay.
good idea. What else? How many people have already signed up? I think Beth, you have. Let's see. And Susan. Anybody else? Beth and Susan? Okay. I should just tell you that we have 3 spots left. We already have sold 10 spots. So really, if you're interested in going, I'm just gonna, I know it sounds like a sales job, but I'm just telling you there's 3 spots left. So anyway,
Is it a single, can you get a single room?
yes, you can get single rooms. Yes. But anything else? Most people ask, a lot of times they ask about the weather, which we've already talked about. We will do packing list, anytime before a trip, we do packing list for that trip. We have a meet and greet where everybody can talk like this, and we have a WhatsApp group, so people can be like, if you do come a day early and you want to meet up with somebody to go have dinner or explore something, you have a way to get in touch. Elliser, as the trip leader, will be using the WhatsApp to kind of give you every night what's going to happen the next day. Anything you want to say about that, Elliser?
Yeah, WhatsApp is how we communicate prior and during and even after, because a lot of great relationships are created on these trips. But yeah, you can use, once we start the WhatsApp, if you've already booked or you plan to book, then you can say, oh, is anybody coming in early? It's how we communicate, and it's great, and people really love it. And then you get to know each other before you've actually hit the ground running when we get to Savannah. So, but for those of you who joined us, I am your trip leader. I am Southern born and Southern bred.
As you couldn't tell.
I'm very proud of it, but traveled a lot, obviously, with Jeannie and Next Tribe, but I'm super excited to be leading this with Beverly. Beverly will be very important to this trip, but yeah, so let us know whatever you need to know.
And Beverly, not be scared. She doesn't mean that you're going to be walking
no, I
around
know.
with people. But she is the
No,
designer.
I love telling people about Savannah because I just fell in love with it. I mean, I literally came down, as Jeannie said, starting over because I went through a really bad divorce, and then my kids went off, so I had an empty house. And then my mortgage was too expensive in New York. You've been hearing about the housing crisis in New York. So I came down here really for a rest because I was just like so exhausted selling the house and getting kids off to college and, just everything. And I knew that it was going to be warmer here. I didn't want to dig out. I didn't want to deal with snow. I wanted to come down and I just wanted to rest. I wanted to sit on a porch and just rock in a rocking chair. And what is really wonderful about this town, yes, it's the South, and the South means a lot of different things. But I came from New York, and so I came from a city that's very vibrant culturally. It's vibrant culturally. It's incredibly diverse, very, very diverse. It was very walkable. I didn't want to go to some place that wasn't walkable and diverse. and didn't have culture. And it was almost like, okay, so then where are you going to go? You're going to go back to New York. And I came here to Savannah and I found all of that. And it is just, it's actually just amazing. It's kind of like I want to pinch myself because I can't really believe that that's true. And it's really that way here. It is a totally unique city in the United States. I just don't think that there's anything like it on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that it's easier to get around. And so I think that's, yes, it is smaller, but it has all these other things and not the really biting cold. So
Yay.
so
Well, I
anyway,
think you're gonna end up getting people to
saying.
move there.
Well, I just posted something like on Facebook, like, no, we're full. I don't know, people moving around or whatever. No, we have more room. We have more.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well,
so and I just, people were so friendly too. I just like, I mean, we say it's the hostess city, but yeah, I mean, that's obviously it's used for marketing and whatever. And I don't work for Next Tribe, by the way. Jeannie and I just
you don't.
friends. Okay, I feel like I'm like, no, but I'm not. I don't work for Next Tribe, but I'm doing this out of the love of my heart, really. Because I love Jeannie, I love this town, and I just, I wanted her to come here. I want people to see it. I want people to see it too. I think just for healing, just to see that it is diverse and we work together in this town. I think one thing about this town too is it's very community minded. I mean, people come here and they're like, if you don't give back and you're not giving back, then you don't belong in this town, because that's who we are, and we do that. And and we're red or blue when we work alongside each other. We can still argue and we can still debate, and it really works in this town.
Oh, I love that.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So yeah,
That's
I would love
wonderful.
to meet all of you. So
So, if there are not any other questions, unless you want, maybe somebody wants Beverly's realtor or something. But anyway, other than that, I'm going to do a drawing because somebody's going to get $200 off their trip for coming today. And so I have everybody's name written down. I'm putting them in this little cup. So here I have Laura and Beth and Susan and Kathy.
With a K.
Oh, with the K. Okay, sorry. Celia, is Celia still on here? Oh, nope, she's off. I thought she left. Sebi and Sandy and Shara. Is Shara still here? I think she's not here either. Okay, your chances just improved. We thought two people had to get off. You have to be present to win. So here I go. Drum roll, please. Sandy. Sandy. Yay. So Sandy, if you sign up in the next couple weeks, and again, I said there's only 3 spots left, so Marcy will take $200 off. You'll make a deposit of 300. Marcy, our travel manager, will deduct the 200 from anything you have due after that. And I love that. But I hope you others will sign up too. It looks like Ellis and I were just going over who's signed up already, and it's a great combination of people who've traveled with us before and new people. We always love to bring new people into the fold and show them how much fun it is to travel with women, like-minded women who are curious and eager to learn and have fun. That's the main thing. Have fun. I'm really into that. And so is Elliser. And you can tell Beverly is
Absolutely.
too.
Yep. It's a good time. We eat, drink, and be merry.
Yeah, but there's all kinds of things you do too. It's cultural, but we always think you have fun first and everything else comes with that. So anyway, but thank you all, and please stay connected and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you, Beverly, for coming tonight and also giving your great ideas on how to put this together. And thank you, Ellisor, as always, for your guidance and your southernness. So anyway,
Can't wait.
all right, take care, everyone.
Jeannie, I love your earrings. I love your earrings. They're
Oh, thank
great.
you. I forget where I got them. Thanks, everyone.
Looking forward
Thank
to
you.
it.
Bye.
Thank you.